Subscribe to African Tales and Reviews by Loveuff.
In the heart of Lagos, where the city's hum never truly dies, lay a rickety face-me-I-face-you apartment on 32, Shobol Street. The building was a patchwork of crumbling cement and peeling paint, held together by sheer will and the hopes of its tenants. Life here was a cacophony of laughter, arguments, and the occasional high-pitched soprano of children chasing each other along the narrow corridors. Among the tenants were three young men, Femi, Sola, and Chucks, known to the neighborhood as flashy yet elusive bachelors. They were the quintessential Yahoo boys. Despite their modest living conditions, they owned the latest iPhones but dreamt of driving cars with loud engines, living a life of luxury and wearing designer clothes that would turn heads wherever they go. It began innocently enough. Kyoma, the lively seamstress living in room 7, was the first to complain. One humid Thursday evening, as she gathered her laundry from the rope strung across the shared courtyard, she noticed a pair of her favorite panties missing. "Who steals underwear?" she exclaimed, her voice slicing through the humid air. Her neighbors shrugged it off, laughing. "Maybe it blew away," suggested Mama Sade, the matronly tenant in room 3, adjusting her wrapper. But when Rizai, the pepper seller from room 4, reported her undergarments missing the next day, suspicion began to brew. Within a week, nearly every woman in the compound had a similar tale to tell. The men, of course, feigned ignorance. Femi, Sola, and Chucks were quick to join in the mockery. "What would we do with women's panties? ABI, we want to start selling 'em for Balagan Market," Chucks joked, his deep baritone echoing through the corridor. But their laughter hid their unease. Unbeknownst to the tenants, the Yahoo boys had recently ventured into a realm of fast money that even they found unsettling. Their regular scams, phishing emails and fake investment schemes were no longer yielding the returns they craved. They had turned to a juju priest in a secluded part of Augun State, who promised untold wealth but demanded an unusual price: women's panties, specifically those belonging to hardworking, unmarried women. "The power in their sweat and struggles will fuel your wealth," the priest had explained, his voice gravelly. He handed them a small clay pot and a set of strict instructions. "Do not fail me." Desperation had blinded the trio to the moral abyss they were plunging into. Kyoma was not one to let things slide. After losing 2 more pairs of underwear, she gathered the other women for a late-night meeting. Under the flickering light of a kerosene lamp in room 2, they devised a plan. "I'll leave an old pair out," Kyoma suggested, her eyes narrowing with determination. "But I'll soak it in pepper water first. Let's see how these thieves enjoy that." The plan was unanimously agreed upon, with each woman vowing to take turns monitoring the courtyard from a hidden vantage point. The next night, under the cover of darkness, Sola tiptoed into the courtyard. The moon cast long shadows as he reached for Kyoma's bait hanging on the line. He didn't notice the small group of women watching from a corner. "Thief!" Kyoma's voice rang out, startling him. Before Sola could flee, the women descended on him like a storm. Armed with brooms, pestles, and buckets of water, they beat and berated him until the commotion drew the attention of the other tenants. Femi and Chucks, hearing the uproar, tried to intervene, but the women were relentless. "Confess," Mama Sade demanded, her voice trembling with fury. "Why are you stealing our underwear?" At first, Sola denied everything, but under the weight of their blows and accusations, he broke. It's for Juju," he stammered, his face contorted with fear. A gasp rippled through the crowd. The tenants, now united by outrage, dragged the trio to the local police station. The officers, already wary of ritualist activities in the area, took the matter seriously. As the investigation unfolded, more damning evidence emerged. In the boys' cramped room, the police found the clay pot, partially filled with ashes and bits of charred fabric. It reeked of something foul and unholy. The juju priest was later apprehended, his shrine desecrated by the authorities. He confessed to orchestrating similar schemes for other desperate individuals. The scandal shook 32, Shobol Street to its core. For weeks, journalists and curious onlookers swarmed the compound, eager for details. The tenants, though initially reluctant, eventually shared their ordeal, warning others to be vigilant. Kyoma became something of a local hero, her quick thinking and determination praised by everyone. As for Femi, Sola, and Chucks, they were sentenced to several years in prison, their once flashy lives reduced to shame and regret. The Face Me I Face You apartment returned to its noisy, chaotic normalcy, but the shadows of what had transpired lingered.